Tactical cyber operation, a blueprint for network attack, exploitation, and defense. The first is preparation, two is second discovery, the three is attack, the fourth is the blue team. Okay, now let's see how do you go. You actually log into your Kali application and then you are initiating a sequence. In the first stage, you let's go to the navigation, the operator's environment. Then you go to the 3D and a path in ls minus LL. So what PWD does, it's like your print working directory reveals absolute path, cd's dollar path change directory, use cd to move up one label, ls minus list all files including hidden with detailed permission. Execute with a super privilege, which is sudo. Redirect and overwrite standard output a file out.txt. Append standard output an existing file. Pipe is a search operator, sends output of one command as an input to another. Global regular expression print isolated specific text patterns. WC-L word count returns the total number of lines in an output. Nano terminal based text editor for rapid configuration changes. You are concatenating and print file content at your terminal. Force removes files and receive direction. Use with caution. The privileged parameter root user, the super user possesses absolute unrestricted administrative control, bypasses all system warning prompts. System user background accounts automatically generated by application, example Apache daemon to execute localized services, no direct login cell. Regular users standard account sandbox to personal home directories blocked from altering core system configuration. The pseudo bridge super user D0 temporarily elevates a verified regular user to execute a single command with root privileges without opening a dangerous root cell. Mapping the operator into IPA Ethernet ET0 primary physical wired connection displays IPv4 address INET broadcast standard BRD and a hardware MAC address link and Ether. Wireless VLAN 0 external wireless network adapter crucial for 802.11 penetration testing. Virtual machines require an external USB adapter to span VLAN 0. Loopback, the localhost 127.0.0.1, a virtual internal only interface pointing the system back at itself, used for isolated service testing. The port state model nmap-sp scam.nem nmap.org nmap skname.nmap.org open. Application is actively accepting TCP/UDP connection, example port 22 SSH, a viable entry point. If authorized users can log in, an attacker can attempt brute force or exploit vulnerable software. Closed. Gateway shut out shut but visible. Port response to nmet props confirming the machine is online but no application is actively listening. A dead end. Filtered. State cannot be determined. Network traffic is actively dropped or blocked by security applications or firewalls. Requires advanced envision texts to map. Weaponizing the hardware, wireless interface mode, manage mode, default, normal operation connects to a specific access point. The adapter actively filters out all background radio traffic not destined for the host machine MAC address. Monitor mode, tactical, pseudo airman ng start VLAN 0. Passive listening mode, VLAN 0 mode captures raw radio traffic across the entire frequency range regardless of destination, essential for 802.11 packet interception. Wi-Fi frequency bands 2.4 GHz band, Aero dump NG band G. The legacy is standard 802.11b slices wider physical range, slower data speed scanned across channel 1 to 14, highly congested in urban environment. 5 GHz band, Aero dump NG band A. The modern standard 802.11a by AC, shorter physical range, higher bandwidth capability, scanned across channel 36 requires a compatible dual band adapter. The anatomy of a wirelessly exposed step 1 weaponized hardware. Shift the physical wireless adapter from standard connectivity to passive raw packet interruptions. Target execution. Scan frequency bands to identify the target routed MAC address, operating channel and connected client devices. Spoof the router identity and serve the connection of a legitimate client, forcing them to automatically reconnect. Capture the cryptography 4-way handshake during the client's reconnection. Extract to a .cap file and share the hash offline. Sudo airdump ng vstr pwr beacons data ch mbenc cipher auth est bsh. The target MAC address, the unique hardware identifier of the wireless access point required to direct the attack. Closer to zero indicates stronger proximity. Values below -60 suggest a highly viable target for packet injection. Operating channel, the specific frequency slice the router uses. The attacker must log the adapter to this exact channel. Encryption standard identifies the defensive protocol. Example, WAP2 CCM dictates the required cracking methodology. The network name, the public-facing human-readable identifier of the target network. The de-authentication strike. Sudo airplay ng deauth 100 router spoofing. The attacker clones the router PSI MAC address effectively, wearing its digital identity mask at the hardware level router. The barrage, the attacker blasts 100 forged management frames directly at the client device. The client device, believing the limit router command would disconnect, immediately serves the Wi-Fi connections. The four-way handshake, eavesdrop, sudo airdump, bssid mac -c w handshake. So auto reconnect and ePOL exchange. The due the attacks all, the client automatically attempts to rejoin the network, exchanging four extensible authentication protocol over LAN packets with the router to verify the password and generate session key. Silently looked onto the precise frequency channel, the attacker passively records all four ePOL packets out of the air, saving them securely to handshake.cap the status. The cryptographic lock has been captured. The operation now moves entirely offline for localized hash cracking. Password cracking methodology, sudo air crack ng -w user share word list rock u.text handshake.cap dictionary attack. Mechanism hashes a pre-compiled text file of a known password and compares them against the captured handshake, a legendary cybersecurity artifact containing over 14 million real-world passwords leaked from a historic data breach. Extremely fast, highly effective against human-generated common passwords, fails immediately if the exact password is not in the list. Exhaustively computes every possible combination of characters, number, and symbols until a mathematical match is found. Raw computational power, CPU, GPU, driven by algorithmic permutation generators, mathematically guaranteed to succeed but practically limited by hardware. Purely numerical passwords crack in a minute. Complex alphanumeric strings can take centuries. Wireshark dashboard breakdown, the blue team's view of a raw network traffic, the macro view packet, the chronological ledger of every single packet intercepted by the network card displays high-level routing and a protocol data. Frame 42, Ethernet 2, SRC, Internet Protocol version 4, Transmission Control Protocol. Expands a single selected packet, allows defenders to peel back the layers of the OSI model, exposing specific protocol fake routing logic and encapsulated headers. Displays the exact hexadecimal and a binary code comprising the packet. This is the unvarnished truth of the network traffic, immune to UI abstraction. Packet filtering cheat, isolating the signal from the noise. Applied post capture hides irrelevant packets without dealing data. HTTP or TLS. IP.ADER is 192.168.1.50. TCP.port is 443. Pipe UDP port is equal to 53. Capture filter applied. Pre-capture drop signal packet prevent Wireshark from crashing under heavy load by physically limiting what is recorded. Syntax differs entirely from display. Port 80 only records host 192.160 only records this thing. The anatomy of a cyber scrum is every offensive action leaves a defensive every time the action. The attacker unleashes the cryptographic barriers to serve the client connection. The command airplay ng dot, the output sending deauth code 7 to the broadcast BSSID MAC, sending deauth code to this thing. The deduction, the defender filters millions of background packets to isolate the exact moment the attack occurred. Wireshark isolates the spike in a management frame. Drilling into the packet details reveals the raw hex code. The spoofed MAC is exposed. The attack is mathematically proven.